Cacao ceremony.
Okay.
Okay. I like to look up at the sun because we can get the essence of the light a little bit. Just hold it to your heart and think about all the things that you want to bring into your life that are going to bring you more happiness and more joy, more peace, prosperity, and bring your heart forward, imbuing the cacao with that energy.
Feel that warmth.
Yeah.
The thing that we talked about yesterday with the embers when you're breathing in and out in the heart area. Such a profound ceremony, the cacao ceremony. Especially talking about the aspects of heart and releasing the things that no longer serve, going towards the things that do serve. It's a really interesting topic. I mean, the session yesterday was so amazing. Cheers. And that's one of the things that I so appreciate when you get to do these ceremonies and you have people that are there. And it's so important, especially as a practitioner, because every person that comes to these different ceremonies, you learn something from them.
You do.
Yeah. And it expands the medicine.
It does.
Sometimes in unexpected ways.
Yeah. Yeah, it lets you see things from different perspectives as well.
Yeah.
Because when she had mentioned, that she is from Latin America, and she did have a worry about ice, and that was in one of our recent podcasts.
Yeah.
So, we had that subject, and then there we were sitting with someone offering heart activation medicine to someone that was having that as a real fear in their life. And here she is, she's a teacher in a middle school. She is a citizen here, and she lives in a very nice community, upper middle class community, and even still she is worried. And she didn't want to leave her daughter.
That's insane when you think about that, to think about all these things because you're so afraid of the situation. And in those types of situations, especially with the cacao ceremony, I'm getting goosebumps again, it's focusing in on the heart and concentrating on that love aspect, the connections that we have with other people, but also opening up the heart, making sure that we're not hardened by the things around us. It's so easy to sink into these aspects where your life has difficult situations, and then you basically say, well, I got to concentrate on my stuff. I'm not really interested in what other people are dealing with, and I think that's a mistake.
And we're also hearing the woodpecker right now, which we saw walking over here. And that's about digging for deeper knowledge.
Always looking for an aspect that can help you with the medicine, right? That's something that every practitioner, I think, does. Our focus is on finding the things that resonate with other people, incorporating that medicine, learning more about ourselves in the process, and how can we use that medicine in a way that serves the greater good, that serves the light. And especially with her yesterday, to give her some comfort in a time where it looks like there's a lot of darkness that surrounds us.
Absolutely.
And getting rid of that darkness, which is such an important aspect of Silver Crow method. We want to work in the light, and we want to help people reach for that light. It was really, to an extent, in a positive way, surreal to really feel that medicine flow, especially during the drumming. I mean,
that was pretty
the ceremony
intense,
that you were doing, and then once I started drumming, I was just gone. And looking at those visions, I mean, it's different for other people, but specifically seeing that vision so clearly, being at that lake, and then focusing in on, well, where's the piece in the body where we have to work on grounding. And then taking that aspect of grounding, again, something very pivotal for practitioners, is the grounding piece and letting that energy flow. So when we have that situation and we're focused on the things in our daily life that are pressuring, surrounding us in a dark way, the grounding helps us to come back to what our natural state is. And I believe the natural state of most human beings is loving, community, people, social.
Absolutely. And then you took her through the Qigong practice afterwards, after we stopped the camera on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
You did more work with her, and you showed her how to ground her body somatically, which was really important.
And that's also the thing sometimes, a lot of people think, especially when you're price-minded, you're like, oh, well, yeah, that's too much. But when you think about the medicine and how much time you dedicate for each person, you want to find out who they are as a person. You want to find out what are the things that we can help them with. And very often that medicine takes its own path. It's not like you can create an Excel spreadsheet or a PowerPoint. This is exactly how I do the journey.
Right.
A lot of it unfolds as the journey unfolds.
Correct. And after all of the circles and meditations, I always like to keep it open for another hour afterwards, because that's when people really start to unfold, they start to open up, and you get to learn more about them. And what was it she mentioned that had happened at her job that was upsetting her?
It was one of the kids, One of the kids was, there was a specific area where they were thinking about committing suicide.
Right.
Yeah. And that was a tough one too, especially when you think about suicide and what that does to you. You're alone. You're not part of something else, and you figure the only aspect to get out of that is to stop your own life. And that's something that's so contradictory to, every human being is such a significant light, a significant life. And that started me on the journey to begin with, when I started looking at social media and what impact it has on people.
And she did mention that social media has a big impact on her middle schoolers.
Yeah.
In a very bad way.
Yeah.
The
This
expectations.
is so good.
Yes, this is very good. Even better than next
You mixed
day.
this yourself, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did my little song over it again this morning after I
think we should
perked it up.
We should basically offer this to folks that are interested in cacao.
Absolutely.
And we should definitely do some more.
Oh, I love the cacao ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we should offer tea for people who are sensitive to cacao as an alternative.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm caffeine sensitive myself.
Okay.
So I can't do cacao all the time. Like, this is a special occasion for me to do the cacao. And I think that's what makes it so special and makes it more ceremonial than like just drinking coffee every day or something.
Yeah.
When you don't do something every day, you really feel the effects of it.
Yeah. That's the reason why you mentioned that before, the Qigong practice, the breathing exercises. When I was putting together the things for the social network, Shaman, and also the Silver Crow method, I was looking at what are the different aspects of the things that I learned that I use on myself, and how can we convert that into something that's easy to understand, as easy as possible to train, to get it right, and then to execute, to give people those different options. And yesterday was, again, another example. I mean, you're always also constantly looking for that feedback when you're doing these journeys. How do you feel? What is the question that you want to ask? You can talk about it if you want to, you don't have to. Giving people the freedom to decide how much they want to talk about, and how much they want to keep for themselves.
Right. And she was, so happy with how everything turned out last night that she's coming back to do a one-on-one with you today.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, today is the next part of the auricular therapy. And then for some reason I had the idea, well, if her daughter's there, then we can talk to both of them. We can basically do both of them at the same time. So if there's an anxiety, depression points for both of them, then we can basically treat both of them in one shot.
Right. And I think so many people here are just feeling anxiety and depression in general.
Yeah.
I mean, since 2020 and now with the new invasion, the new plague that's happening here, people are just wanting to stay in their houses and not leave.
Yeah.
And that just becomes, now they're isolating all of those emotions as well.
And that's dangerous, because once you get to that state where I just want to stay inside, I can understand it. I get that. But then that sense of community starts to break again.
Yeah.
And we saw that during COVID times, that you had this end of the world type of thought. I'm alone. What am I going to do? And then to break out of that shell, to start to connect with people again, took a long time. And unfortunately, in times like those, it's very quick to lose sight of what's important. And that's why I think another reason why Silver Crow method and talking about these things, doing these different sessions, is so important, to make sure people have that access.
And I was thinking about how, she just wanted to speak about what her lineage was.
Yeah.
And she spoke about how some of it is Native American. It's American. Her lineage has been here in the Americas. She said some European, but it's been here longer than the colonizers have been here.
Yeah, exactly.
And here she is worried that she's going to, have some repercussions because of how she looks.
Yeah, that's a dangerous precedent, and that's another reason why the heart ceremony is so important. When we do the music, or when I concentrate on the songs specifically, the last album that I worked on, I wanted to appeal to the people that are on the other side, because I think it's not just enough to work with the people that are suffering immediately the effects. It also precludes, or it demands, that we think about who are the other people and how can we reach them.
Yes.
If you demonize someone else, I understand that. It's very easy to do that, but it doesn't resolve the solution. And you don't always reach everyone.
Right.
But even if you reach like 10% or 15 or 20% and remind them, hey, we're all human. You may be wearing a uniform, or you may be doing this or that, but you don't forget that you're a human being.
Yeah.
You have a wife, you have a son, you have children, you have all these different aspects, and you can't just shut that off just because you put on the uniform and you follow a specific type of order or a specific type of thing or dogma. Dogma is very dangerous. And that's another reason why when I talk about, we had that discussion too, I'm not a healer. I'm just a guide. The power doesn't reside with me, it's all around us, and we don't own this, it comes from somewhere else. And that's an important aspect, especially when you deal with people that want more and more power. And there's part of me that thinks, because I've dealt with people in palliative situations that died, and I see that moment just before you leave this place, all these things that you build and you think that you have, especially the power and the money, you don't take it alone.
Yeah.
The things that you think about are, who are the people that I love? What is the impact that I had on other people? What good did I do before I leave? And that's the piece that tells me, Mike, you got to reach these people. You have to continuously keep on trying to reach them. And I'm just realizing that now to another part of that bigger message. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to give people, or to remind people that we're all connected, that we're all part of the same family.
Yeah. And it's part of it's all one, right?
Yeah.
So it's the oneness, and looking at, like, we just talked about the woodpecker, and getting the medicine from the woodpecker, getting deeper knowledge. And you spoke last time in our last podcast about shape-shifting, which I thought was really cool, how you connected that in with getting the medicine from the animals is like shape-shifting.
Yeah.
And then also having that compassion piece for the other side is a form of shape-shifting.
Right.
That was a, like, ring the bell moment when you said that. Like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. So on the surface, when you start with shamanic practices and you hear about shape-shifting,
so many birds up there.
yeah, they're reminding us again. We have a big audience right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of them. Nature is the biggest audience that I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking to. But in shape-shifting, not only getting into other people's shoes, but learning the aspect of that animal, that person, that situation, that thing. So take yourself outside of your normal state or your perceived state, and take a look at that other piece. And what can I learn? So if we take, for instance, the woodpecker is dedicated on making those holes in the wood for a long period of time, going through all that work and that planning to get that hole just right so that it's done. So what does that mean? When we concentrate on a task, it's important to know what task you want to do, but you have to be dedicated and continuously work towards that thing until it's done. So the same thing is about knowledge, but I think knowledge never ends.
Never.
Just like the woodpecker is always going to the next tree and getting another hole, you dig for something, you reach it, and then it leads you to the next hole, and then to the next tree, and then to the next tree. And that's like how knowledge works too. It's not just you have one thing finite and then everything's done. It's one step at a time. And the same thing is about medicine.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, really profound.
And you know, I see foxes here a lot too, and we've talked about fox medicine where you know, foxes can be perceived as being like sneaky and stealing the eggs from the chicken coop, and but really if you thought about putting yourself in that fox's shoes, it's just gathering food for its babies.
Yeah.
Right? So again, that's like that shape-shifting medicine for these people that do join ICE, you know?
Yeah.
We don't know, like maybe they are pushed to their brink of starvation and everything with their family is on the line.
Yeah.
And that is the only solution they see
Right.
to move forward to help protect their family.
And that I get, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so life isn't black and white,
Yeah,
right? It's
never
just
black and
so
white, yeah.
gray. And once we
Rainbows.
start hearing rainbows, once we start realizing that, I think we can all start to have more compassion and empathy. And once we start opening up our heart center, we can really tap into that more.
Right. Yeah, so I think one of the lessons of the cacao ceremony and talking about the heart is finding and concentrating on the things that connect us and not that separate us. If you're looking for differences, you will always find them.
Right.
But it's much harder and much more fulfilling to look at the things that combine us. We're all humans. We all live on the earth. We all have families. We all have connections. We all have problems that we're dealing with and we need help.
Right. And it's also that bringing in that divine neutrality towards things, right? So differences are good, right? Because what I don't have, you have, right? And what you don't have, I have.
Yeah.
So, and in other people as well. And so that's how we start to lift each other up and start to impart knowledge onto each other, and so that we can keep lifting each other up, but not to see those differences as something that I should be afraid of because I don't have that and it's different than what I have.
Right, right. Differences make us stronger. They don't make us weaker. Love makes us stronger. It doesn't make us weaker. The connections that we have with other people and recognizing that that's a fact doesn't make us weaker. It makes us stronger. And when you take a look at throughout history, those things, those different types of governments or interest groups or whatever we want to call these things, they only gain strength when they separate us from each other.
100%.
Yeah, and it doesn't really lead to anything because the thing that goes through my logic brain is even if you've reached all this power and all this money, if there's no one left for you to impress, if that you're that type of person, what good does it do?
Right.
If you have all this power and you die the next day, you can't take it with you. What good does it really do?
It's like that nursery rhyme, the cheese stands alone, right?
Yeah.
What is it? Hyolidario,
Okay.
right? And it goes through all the animals, and then the cheese is the last thing, and it stands alone. I don't remember it.
I don't remember that either, but I was like, okay, cheese.
I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, the big cheese is gonna stand alone.
Oh yeah, okay, the big cheese, yeah.
The big cheese.
Yeah.
I could just be making that part up because it's making it
No,
sound
but it's
like a better
true.
story.
Right. I mean, so take for instance the scenario. I'm very focused on materialistic things. I'm more focused on power. That dynamic only works if I have people that I can influence. But if I have no one left to influence and I have all this power, it's as if I have nothing. It's even worse than that. From a shamanic perspective, the people that you heard doing stuff like that, really negative stuff, like trying to kill, trying to really put people into a situation where they are in a fight or flight mode, it destroys yourself too. It's always bits and pieces of your soul or of your energy, of your essence of who you are, that you allow to be taken away from something else that has an ulterior motive. And that ulterior motive is to let you think that that power and that money and that wealth and everything else that goes with it will free you from the things that you're actually suffering. But the only way that you can free yourself from these things, I believe, and there's a lot of religions that talk about this, Buddhism, etc., Catholicism or Christianity, and other religions, they talk about the sense of letting go, the sense of trusting in something for the right reasons, and letting go and surrendering to a will that is above yours, that is for the greater good. And whether that's a shamanic practice, whether it's a religious practice, it makes a lot of sense, because the more that you try to share, even though you build that wealth, the better it will be for you, because you have people that you can share it with.
Right.
I mean, I just can't get that through my head, because probably I'm just so far away from that type of thinking. The logic brain in me always says, maybe that's the European side, is if you have all these things and you can't share it or you can't use it, what use is it? It's as if you never had it. But yeah, in the process, your heart closes. When your heart closes, you forget to live. When you forget to live, what use is it to be alive? When your heart is dead, or when your heart is broken, or in that way, I mean, really, really broken in thousands and thousands of pieces, because you're making other people suffer. I mean, thousands of people.
Yeah. Well, this is where I find my peace. I come here almost every day, if I can. It's a
Crows.
The crows.
A murder.
It's a murder. Yeah, this is where I find my peace, my solitude, my love, my grace, my faith in life, my strength, compassion.
Yeah.
There's just so much here. It just seems like nothing to some people, but
Oh, it's
to me,
buzzing. This place is buzzing.
this is the riches of the world.
Yeah.
This is all I need is nature.
Yeah, walking around in the forest, walking around in like meadows, and just enjoying.
It doesn't get better than this.
No,
Simple
no,
abundance.
yeah.
This is what it's about. This is what people, I think, work so hard to try and get to.
Yeah.
It's really just strip down all that stuff.
Yeah.
And just be in the peace of all of Mother Earth's creations, and
Right.
like you said, like just get the medicine from everything that's around you, and that exchange of energy that we're all doing.
Right.
Um,
So, and there's the
I'm
positive
feeling
side.
this cacao all of a sudden. Do you
Yeah.
feel it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm caffeine sensitive, so I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and even when you look at the forest.
Let's build something.
Yeah. The old forts, like when you were like 10 or 15 or something, or like 10 years old, and you build a
Well, the
wooden
kids
fort.
do build forts here,
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
which is really fun.
Yeah, who would not want to do that? I mean, come on.
But you know what happens? Some people will come through and complain to the park service, and then they have to come and dismantle it. And I've spoken with them. They're like, we're really bummed to have to do this, because it's so great to see kids out playing
Yeah.
in the woods, building things. And they're like, we're happy to come back and dismantle it again if they do it. We don't care, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, they build these things away from the main path. Sometimes they get a little cheeky and they try to do things on the main path, and that's what gets them busted.
Yeah.
But there's medicine in that too.
Yeah. You just mentioned something again. That's another discussion that we had on the group about cycles.
Yeah.
So somebody builds something, someone else comes and they dismantle it. And I think that story of the cycles is also another profound message that on the surface it looks like it's so simple, but it's also far-reaching. And you can extend that to everything else in our life. Everything goes in a circle. And a lot of people think the circle is there to punish you. It's not. It's there to help you come to the realization that some things are coming to an end, other things are starting, and that there are things in these cycles that we need to learn in order to get to the next stage of life. And again, just like there are people that want that power and that wealth, they haven't learned the lesson that even if you had all that stuff, you can't take it with you.
No.
Even if you had all that stuff and there's no one that you can share it with, it's not fulfilling. Even if you have all these things, there's still something else that you want. And the cycles are again a profound lesson that we keep on going into the same cycle until we learn the lessons we're meant to learn, so we can reach the next stage. And very often, especially in shamanic practice, when you're a practitioner learning, these lessons are sometimes really, really painful, because you have lived a certain way for so long that you forget, is this the right thing to do? Is this the right path that I'm meant to be on? Is there something else that I didn't learn yet? And I keep on coming back to the same thing in my life over and over again until I finally learn the lesson. Let go, which is the most difficult thing to do, and then trust that what's coming up in the future is where I'm meant to go. And that's the thing where it gets really, really scary.
And sometimes, you know, you think you've learned that lesson, but it comes back in a different flavor.
Oh,
right?
I'm continuously learning that lesson. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things that I think about that I am concentrating on, and there's certain decisions that you need to make, and you need to make them, and you know you need to make them, but there's just that something that's preventing you from making those decisions. And the thing about that is, whether you think about this aspect or that aspect, you have to focus in on what the cycle is trying to teach you. And sometimes it's a very scary message, it's a very hurtful lesson for you and for others, but you have to move forward. If you don't learn the lesson, you stay and you stagnate.
Stagnate, for sure. And, you know, the circle is to grow us, and it's to make us expand and evolve. So if we just decide to stagnate in it, I think it stops all the other things that we're supposed to be bringing into our lives to grow and evolve from. So it's kind of like it creates a hard stop in your development.
Right. And that prevents you from learning something new about the medicine. It prevents you from doing or making the next step and being happier and meeting the people that you're supposed to meet, or doing the things that you're supposed to be doing in this life. And that's where it gets scary, because it's messy too. It's not really linear growth, it's in steps and it's dynamic, but it also forces you to confront things that you sometimes just don't want to recognize. You know it's true deep down in your heart that you have to do it, but you're focused with this thing because there's so many difficult sub-decisions you need to make for that. And you're concentrating more on, I don't want to hurt this person, or I don't want to do that negatively, but at the end of the day, you have to learn the lessons of the cycle. Otherwise, you come back to it again and again and again. Right.
And I think that's something that can happen to a collective as well. If we just stagnate, if everyone decides to stagnate, then the whole collective stays stuck. So it's almost our individual responsibility to keep moving through that circle.
Also, this time is a cycle,
so that we can keep moving and evolving together.
And taking that back into historical perspective, what the Holocaust and the Second World War showed us is that there were certain people, and I've had this discussion with others, that resisted. And most of the people said, well, if I keep my mouth shut and I don't do something, at least I'll be able to live my life in freedom. But the question is, and this is the big question, what we saw in the Second World War, especially in Germany, is that the people that thought that way, many of them still got dragged away. And the aspect of that is when you don't stand up, or when you don't talk about things that you know are wrong, what's the right path? Is the right path to shut up and protect your family? And then the question is, how long are you protected? The second thing is, what is the cycle trying to teach us? Maybe the cycle is trying to teach us that we don't need these things anymore. We don't need to follow these old patterns of power and might and war, etc. They don't make sense. They don't lead to anything that's positive. You know, they lead to more about things that are destructive, that destroy a lot of the things and the positive aspects that we've achieved in the last years. And maybe it profits a few people, but most of the collective are harmed by it. It creates pain. So I think, at least from my perspective, I want to concentrate on helping myself and others learn the lessons of the cycle, to understand that the cycle is not there to punish us, but to teach us. And how can we incorporate the lessons of the cycle too in the Silver Crow method? How can we create, for instance, digital media that people can consume even if they want to stay home? How can we give people that hope that ultimately, if you do the right thing for the right reasons, and even if you sometimes do the wrong thing for the right reasons, that it does help? See, that's the other paradox. Sometimes you have to do things that appear to be wrong, but they're right. And when you're focused on saying, well, I'm doing something bad or wrong, it's hurting someone else. But the lesson of the cycle is, you need to understand that you need to sometimes do stuff like this to get past your own block to be where you should have been a long time ago. And that's sometimes where we have to have that grace, and we have to love ourselves enough to accept that lesson. And that's tough.
Yeah. So I wonder what happens once you decide to make that move. You know, make your move, right? You make your move, you unstick yourself, you stop stagnating. So all the things that were supposed to be on your path that are there, out there, that you pinched yourself off from.
Yeah.
Do they just all come rushing to you because the floodgates are now open, or do you have to just incrementally move towards them?
I guess at the end of the day, really good question.
I think it depends on your energy.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely depends on your energy, but everybody's situation is complex, and it fits their specific level of medicine and what they can integrate.
Right.
So when you're ready to receive a medicine, you'll understand the lessons. When you're not ready, you'll be in that cycle, and you need to get that awareness that you're in the cycle to open yourself up to receive the message. Once you do that, then you start to learn these things. You incorporate that medicine into your life, and then it enables you to take the next steps that you were meant to take.
Mm-hmm.
But there's many people in life that decide not to take those steps, and they stay stuck where they're at.
Yeah.
And that's where, I'm not going to say it becomes dangerous, but then that's where it gets to the state where you don't learn the lesson and you don't move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question is, well, what could have happened if you did take that risk? And it's scary. I'm not going to say that it's easy. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
You're pushing yourself out on a ledge, and you need to focus on breathing. You need to focus on grounding yourself and asking yourself the question, what am I supposed to learn? What am I supposed to let go? How can I integrate this in a way that is positive? How can I integrate that in the web of life and in a light path? And what do I need to accept, and what do I need to let go? Letting go is hard, but sometimes it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's listening to us.
Yeah. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
Shall we wrap it up? I don't know how long
Yeah,
we've been
let's wrap it
recording
up.
for. 32 minutes, perfect. Half
wow.
hour. Half hour is good time.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
So this was a very dynamic session. I hope
Mm-hmm.
that it was interesting. I hope that people that listen to this, there's aspects that resonate with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know if you like these free-form conversations, especially in woods.
Yeah. Oh, this cacao is really good.
Yeah. Thanks. All right, bye everyone.